The season 3 trailers for Runaways is out, and it's also canceled. Plus, we have some details on deleted scenes. All of that and more Marvel movie news starts now.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's Marvel movie news.
Hey!
Welcome back, our merry Marvel lights. We are the Marvel movie news. This is episode number 254, live from the Disney Plus customer service on hold queue. Because, I could say. Yeah, that's going to be forever.
Yeah.
Subscribe to us on iTunes at Marvel Movie News or find us at youtube.com/popcorn talk. Before we get into, we have like a bunch of news today. We've got a bunch of deleted scenes. We've got some news on the Runaways Season 3. We've got the trailer along with the news that it's going to be canceled. So we get to be excited about watching it and then, okay, we're done.
Literally posted with that was my favorite part. They're just like, hey, here's the trailer for the final season of Runaways.
Yeah. So that's going to be really fun. But before we get into all of that, we should say who we are. I'm Xia Anderson here, and we also have Zach Wilson.
I'm here. We made it, Christian.
We did. We both made it.
And Christian Bladt.
We were both on the helicarrier and had some very pressing matters, but we did materialize down here in time.
Quinjets move fast.
Exactly. It's the only way to fly.
Yeah.
But to the point you were making about the trailer at the end of Runaways, like final season, that doesn't make any sense to me. Because I thought it was stupid when they did it before Jessica Jones, and they were like, yeah, so here's the date for that. By the way, there's no more after that. So it's like, I think people who love the show will watch it, but if you're sort of like on the fence, Zia, you might be like, why would I watch it? I know there's not going to be a season 4.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things. Before we jump into that, I just want to say we have Ryan Nilsson, a.k.a. Mr. Fantastic, a.k.a. Rilo Ren, in the booth.
Thank you so much, Zia.
You're welcome.
Rilo Ren,
I love it.
Talking Star Wars
So
every
we
Thursday.
hate him no matter what.
What? No. And then we also need to thank Colpado for tweeting from the Starjammer. All right, now we're going to get into some news. We can talk about the trailer up front if you guys want, or we can jump into some deleted scenes, but
Christian's
I feel like...
already very opposed to this announcement, so...
Because the trailer looks so much cooler than... Just look at it as a trailer. It looks better than the trailers for either of the previous seasons.
I disagree.
It looks really cool, and it has... so we got Morgan Le Fay, which is, I'm like, finally.
I'm super excited about that.
I know that it might not be the speaking for the entire panel here, but I'm very excited to see them interact with Tandy and Tyrone.
Okay, look. So what I'm going to say about that is, if anybody watched Marvel TV Weekly, they mostly know that I was not a very big fan of Cloak and Dagger.
You mentioned it on this show, too. This is not a secret that we've been keeping.
Okay, so everybody should know that I wasn't a big fan of Cloak and Dagger. I also wasn't a big fan of Runaways. And I'm not going to crap on the shows. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, they're really bad shows. They just weren't for me. And if I didn't have to review them for stuff like this, I just wouldn't watch them. It's not something like I never watched The Gifted until season 2, and I also never watched what was that other really terrible one, but you guys love it because of Lockjaw.
No, just me, I think.
No, that's just
Christian.
Do not lump
Sorry,
me in
Zach,
on the
sorry.
Inhumans train. I was offended by that show.
I love Inhumans. I
Inhumans,
tolerated
that's
it
what it's
because of how much I loved Lockjaw, and I stand by my. I ship Lockjaw and himself. I just love Lockjaw.
Just Lockjaw.
Lockjaw is amazing. I have a Lockjaw plush at home that somebody gave me.
Okay, so everybody can agree that they love Lockjaw.
Lockjaw is amazing, but Lockjaw is amazing in spite of that show. Anyway, we're getting off track. The Runaways season 3. It's not that I'm not excited about the show. I just thought that this trailer that they dropped made it look bad. Like, it might still be good. I thought it was just a bad trailer. It moves so slow. It makes
like what you're used to getting for a trailer. You're used to getting like fast cuts and like showing the action scenes.
I didn't feel like it showed anything. It didn't make it feel exciting to me. Like, they're doing Morgan Le Fay. I should be amped and scared of her, and I'm kind of just like, okay, this is gonna be a thing. I will say though, Morgan Le Fay, comic book accurate levels of cleavage.
I agree. That's some amazing cleavage going on there. I think that might be my favorite part about the show. I'm looking forward to that the most.
The cleavage?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There it is. Ryan's got it up on the board.
Yeah.
I actually
Oh, I
really
found it.
enjoy that they're doing that.
Yeah, Ryan, that didn't take you long to
Yeah.
That was a quick.
to
It's
find
all-
the comic book accurate cleavage.
Like, look, this is what I'm talking about, though. The cleavage is so deep, it goes below the boobs.
I like it.
only in comic books and, like, Oscar
it.
dresses does that occur.
And not that we're complaining.
And I'm also not
Who's
a fashion
complaining?
person, so it's very possible that that's, like, more of a trend than I
Yeah.
know.
I'm down. If I had cleavage, I'd totally wear stuff like that, but I don't. So anyway, back to the show. I honestly, this to me, I don't know if it just has more to do with the magic aspect of it that I'm excited about, just because I like that kind of thing. This season, I think I'm looking forward to more than any of the other seasons of anything else that I've watched in that wheelhouse. So I think that I'm going to give it, I wasn't going to watch it at all. I was just going to not watch Runaways because it's just not for me. But I was texting with Christian earlier this morning after watching the trailer, and I was like, you know what? I actually might watch a couple of these to see if I'm going to be interested.
And why not tell the audience and both of us what it is about that trailer?
I want to see Tandy and Nico go at it. Like, not in that way, but like I want to see them fight.
Well, that would be comic book accurate too.
Could see both. Maybe they fight and then they go at it.
I mean, we know that Nico has a thing for blondes.
Yeah.
That's true.
Exactly.
Actually, the more I think about this, the more I want to see both. Anyway, she calls her
Hot Topic.
Yes, and that
It's
made
at
me
the end
laugh.
of the trailer, and it's just such a funny way to end the trailer.
I love that line. I will say that was a sick burn
Right?
on Nico, and Nico's reaction was like, "Hey, how dare!" Well,
these
She's like,
these
"Actually
rings
did
are
get all of
definitely from
these."
Hot Topic.
it's
and,
accurate, but
my,
screw you.
my boots are from Hot Topic too. Damn it!
I still shop at Hot Topic. I don't care what anyone says.
Hey, they got lots of Doctor Who merch there.
Yeah, they do. They have I got a lot of Doctor Who stuff from there. I got a TARDIS necklace from there.
Look, I wear a lot of Marvel shirts on this show, and probably about 10 of them are from Hot Topic. You know,
Yeah.
So-
This hat. Not from Hot Topic, but from
Box
their
Lunch?
Box Lunch, which
I
is
love
owned,
Box Lunch.
which is also owned
Yeah.
by the same people
Of course
as Hot
it is.
Topic.
Of course it is.
Box Lunch is basically just like we took all the nerdy stuff that we sell at Hot Topic, we give part of the money to charity, and then we put it all in one nicer looking store.
Oh, that's great. So I'm
See,
gonna get it all from there.
Oh, Box Lunch is amazing because they
love
donate
it.
like
10%, I think.
10% or something like that
20,
of,
something like that.
of every dollar you spend there to charity.
I always thought that Box Lunch was like the Banana Republic to Hot Topic's The Gap. So I didn't even realize that was the difference. I thought it was the high-end Hot Topic, the fancy Hot Topic.
kind of
It
fancy.
kind of is, but
Yeah.
but there's also Box Lunch also
good
has a
for them.
charity aspect to their stuff, and they just have so much Marvel stuff I've bought there over the years. And for those listening, I'm wearing a Xavier Institute cap, which says Westchester County on the side, and that was like the final sale was like Westchester County sold.
Westchester, the best Chester.
Nice.
Anyway,
From Westchester, and I hated that.
What happened?
I'm from Westchester, and I
Well,
hated that.
there's a show that we listen to, Jim and Sam, and Jim lives, and I'm sorry,
lives-
Sam lives in Westchester,
Sam
and
lives
he
in the
calls it the
Bestchester.
best Chester.
Yeah.
I'm saying that I
all the
hate
time.
it. I don't. It doesn't matter where it came from.
But that's why I said it. He said it's just like a thing that he says all the time. But yeah, so Runaways is canceled, which is not I know, that was a great segue, right? Which is not entirely surprising considering the fact that Jeff Loeb is gone and Disney has been one by one canceling everything that
Yeah.
he's ever had his hands on.
This was the test. Like, Cloak and Dagger didn't surprise me. It never had like crazy ratings or anything that said like, oh, we have to keep Cloak and Dagger. But Runaways did okay, and it was on a streaming service, and so it's Hulu, and it's all in the family. This was sort of the like last line of like, all right, so what is Marvel Studios going to just kill all of the live action TV? And with except for Hellstrom, like this leaves me wondering what Hellstrom's doing.
I mean, it's maybe because it's on Hulu, maybe because they're going to have, I mean, he's going to have more of a reach over it. And he's like, I really like this story and I'm going to be involved in this. So we're going to let this continue. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. It feels weird.
And maybe they are now just approaching it as, a 10 or whatever episode. Like, yeah, that's going to be what you get.
Yeah.
We're not going to do more after this. So tell your Hellstrom story because you're not going to get to make a Hellstrom movie. But yeah, I thought that Runaways had a chance because it's Hulu and because that's Disney. But clearly they felt like, they've done enough of all of these things.
I mean, Freeform's Disney too.
Yeah,
Like they,
good point.
Disney owns the world. You guys.
Oh, God, they really do.
ABC also Disney, but
Yeah.
they decided that this will be the last season for Shield. But
Well, Shield, that was a
Yeah.
creative decision, I think, before the fact. I think that was this show has run its course. 7 seasons is a lot
Yeah.
of television.
With
It's reached
a lot of episodes.
It's reached its 100 episodes for syndication. They're good. They've told their story. ABC has said that they want to do more Marvel though, which is interesting because that network, depending on who's involved, is like either we love Marvel, we want to do more with it. I don't want to have anything to do with Marvel television. Stick Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in the worst time slot. Oh, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. does well no matter what time slot we put it in. Can we do more Marvel, please?
Stupid. Yeah, no, I don't know. It's just, it seems like they're doing so much on Disney Plus. I'll be curious to see if they actually license not license anything out. I guess ABC is still part of Disney, but if they're going to let any of it sort of branch out at all. Because so far we only know of Hellstrom on Hulu, and they're keeping everything else on Disney Plus.
I mean, if everything's coming from Marvel Studios, even if you're only doing the stuff that's on Disney Plus, you're already doing 3 Marvel television shows average 3 Marvel television shows a year. Not to mention the fact that you have. I wasn't here last week. Do you guys talk about the new dates that got dropped?
We didn't have those last Thursday.
We should.
But
We're
you
gonna
can
have to
check
talk.
out
We're gonna have to talk about
Yeah.
those.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about those.
Because I have some theories, you guys.
That's not surprising.
But with all the 4 movies a year, 3 shows a year, do you need more? I mean, we could always use more.
We could always use more. And also the thing with shows like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that having that on ABC is they have 7 seasons, but they're also 23 episodes in each season. It's not like where they're like, oh, we're going to make this amazing content that has all of this money in it for 8 episodes. You're getting 23 and it stretches thin and I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of filler there.
I think that they're worried about diluting the brand a little bit. I mean, the CW DC shows, they just keep adding to it. And I personally don't know anybody who watches all of them. And when there were 2 of them, it was very easy for people to watch all of them. And now there's so many that I feel like their thinking is if there were so many of these Marvel shows, on other places, if there was Legion still on FX and they were on all these other places, you don't have enough, you don't even necessarily control, but you just want to really have it all be centralized. And I think that's why they're just like, let's just start over. And I think it would be a while, but I feel like some of these characters they'll probably do something with in time. I don't know about the Runaways in particular, but I feel like Cloak and Dagger are characters that not for a few years, but I think you could very well see them again.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's all kinds of characters they can still pull from.
It'll be interesting to see if any of them pop up in the Disney Plus shows. Because, where the test is really going to be is Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
Because Kamala Khan will have an encyclopedic knowledge of the superheroes of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And that will be Disney's cleanest way to set up, if they want to be like, these are the characters that exist in this universe. Hey, Daredevil's a thing in the MCU. It's Charlie Cox. Here's a photo of him in the Netflix costume.
There you go.
Kamala Khan is all over it.
There you go.
And if she just ignores anyone from Hulu and Freeform or ABC, then we have our answer there.
There you go. Yeah, that's true. And I mean, I feel like eventually they're going to go through, if this is something that they're going to continue doing for a very long time, they're going to need more characters and more stories to tell. So at some point, I could absolutely see them being reintroduced.
To answer this question, Miss Marvel is not a meta character. She's just an in-universe fan of superheroes. She is a fangirl of the existence of these people that save lives in her world.
I haven't read a lot about Miss Marvel. I haven't read any of her storylines or anything like that, but I know that that's kind of her thing. Like, she's a superhero that becomes a superhero that's a mega fan of superheroes, and that's kind of like why it's a cool character for people.
Yeah, so it's a little bit meta in that she she's sort of a facsimile for the fans, but she's not aware. It's not a Deadpool or a She-Hulk where they're aware that they're in the comics, or Gwenpool.
Right. I mean, there's this reality in the Marvel Universe that there are comic books that come out that are adventures of these characters established in the fact that Steve Rogers ended up being an artist on the Captain America comic book at one point in the mid 80s. But then they had to explain in the letters page, like, no, it's not like the same issue that you're holding. It's just, they don't know the secret identities, but you can still do comic books. So yeah, you can still be like a super fan of what's going on. And I mean, in some ways, you feel like Peter's a fan of the Avengers, Peter Parker, and Ant-Man once he becomes a superhero. So it's just sort of a wrinkle on that. I think that she's just that invested and excited about it. But it's not like she has secret knowledge and is downloading Shield files to find out who secret identities are and stuff.
Yes.
No, that's my story.
That's
got it.
Gwenpool's
Yeah,
story.
right, exactly.
I think I've recommended a bit of it before. Gwenpool is such a good book if you're a Marvel nerd, because she is a Marvel nerd who got dropped accidentally into the comic book universe she's been reading, and now knows everybody's secret identities and has to just go on with
Her life regularly.
has to figure out how to live inside the 616 universe.
That's actually kind of amazing.
But knowing she knows who Spider-Man is. And all of his backstory, stuff he's never told anybody because she's been reading Spider-Man her whole life.
That's kind of amazing.
It's such a good run. Check it out.
Speaking of Marvel fans, I think for the biggest Marvel fans, not us because we don't have that kind of money, but for the biggest Marvel fans that do have that kind of money, they probably went out and got the Infinity Saga box set. There was it was over $500.
It was $500.
It was $500.
Yeah.
And which we did do the math on, and then it turns out if you're buying the DVDs individually, it's not a bad price. It is reasonable.
It's a very good price.
But to spend all at once, it's a lot. But we did get some details on what the deleted scenes that you get in that box set, what they are. And we haven't seen them, but we'll go down the list and we'll talk a little bit about them. If you guys have bought that box set, let us know.
Yeah. Can I borrow the
Yeah.
one disc, please?
Yeah, just so we can
for
see the deleted scenes.
an hour, because I'll be honest, I tried to Google. I was like, somebody must have uploaded
Yeah,
them somewhere.
it's gotta
I
be
couldn't
somewhere.
find them.
But we did get the details on the deleted scenes. The deleted scene, I'll just go in order of how Zach put these in. But the deleted scene from Iron Man with Nick Fury, which was released already. So we got that.
Yeah, I literally I took somebody else's list and was like, these are the things.
Yeah.
Great, that's great. It's because
And
we
this
don't
is
have
the one
it.
where they reference mutant. I mean, not directly, but they give the impression of mutants and
Oh no, they
Spider-Man.
straight up
says
say
what
mutants. He
does.
says I'm already dealing with mutants and bug bites, and it's all there.
It's a good scene. I like that one. And then there's the scene from Iron Man 2 with the video recording of his dad. So that's something else we're going to get. An alternate ending for Thor: The Dark World, in which Thor and Jane break up.
Yeah, I guess she's like, you're a king now. You got to take care of your kingdom, bro.
I mean, but then it's in the next movie, right, that we find out that he says they reference the fact that they broke up, but they just never showed it. So this is the ending that we just never got to see.
They gave us a different ending, because in Dark World he comes back and that's when he shows up, and then she runs and they make out.
Yeah.
And then the movie ends.
Yeah.
But this is an alternate version where that doesn't happen. He comes back and she's like, I think we should see other people.
She's like, I actually already am.
See, that reason doesn't even make sense, because we've established years ago that she's a queen. So why should she have a problem with him being a king?
I don't.
She was 13 and she was a queen already. So I don't know. I don't buy into that. I'm glad that they cut that out.
Wait, what?
Star Wars.
Queen Amidala.
Oh, Jesus.
Queen Amidala.
Jesus.
But yeah,
Elected.
so I actually do want to see that. I'm going to go back and watch The Dark World again, because I need to know if it's as bad as everyone says it is. The scene from Avengers: The Age of Ultron with Captain Marvel.
I don't know the details on this.
I don't know. That sounds so interesting.
That's very interesting. Yeah.
When did they film that?
Again, all we have is these details.
Yeah, this is it. This is all we
I don't
have.
think it's with Brie Larson. I think it's somehow implying that she
Interesting. Okay.
is there. somebody lend me your DVD.
I know. I want to see all of these.
Or if you have it, just tell us about that scene.
Yeah, I want to know what it is. An extended scene from Ant-Man that shows Hank being a badass in Panama.
Oh, this is what it was. She was in the that final shot where they're like, at the end of Age of Ultron, like, let's see who we have. And it like wides out and you see like Falcon and Scarlet Witch and Vision. And like they just dropped Captain Marvel in there.
Got it. Okay. And then we have an alternate scene from Captain America Civil War in which Zemo steals the Red Book from an auction by poisoning everyone. I like the sound of that.
Well, that sounds like Zemo to me. That's exactly the sort of thing he should have been up to in that movie.
Ooh, you guys will like this. A scene from Doctor Strange that mentions Mordo.
Yep.
Just
mentions him.
does. Yeah, he's just there.
Yeah, Doctor Strange is doing some shout outs at that point.
There's such a laundry list, like $500. I want to see all of
I
these.
want it so bad. We'll quickly go through the rest of them because there's, a few more. The scene from Thor Ragnarok in which Hela comes from an alley in New York and Odin is homeless. Oh, geez. A scene from Black Panther in which Okoye interacts more with Agent Ross. Test footage for the Black Order. A scene with Hulk busting out of the Hulkbuster in Avengers Infinity War, which I would really love to see because that's something that I kind of kept expecting to happen throughout the movie and then it didn't, which is fine. But that scene that leaked a long time ago from Infinity War in which Doctor Strange tells Peter to save them, meeting the Guardians. I remember that one. Smart Hulk interacting with Natasha in Infinity War. A scene from Ant-Man and the Wasp in which Janet and Pym are looking for Elias Starr, which causes the explosion that creates Ghost. That'd be cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. A scene in the Quantum Realm in which Janet saves Hank. A scene from Captain Marvel with a comic-accurate Supreme Intelligence.
We've heard tell about this one before.
I would have really liked to have seen that. I thought, the Supreme Intelligence is just such a crazy visual concept in the comics. I would love to see somebody taking a crack at doing, a CGI of it.
Yeah, that'd be very cool. Some test footage with Smart Hulk and Thor at the end of Avengers Endgame trying to kiss Valkyrie, but she rejects him.
Yeah,
I would also love to see
I've also heard about
We've
this
heard
scene.
of that one, yeah.
This was like, it was an improv bit because those two just play off of each other really well.
Yeah.
Where like he thinks he's gonna go for something. Well, bro, what are you doing?
I would actually really love to see that. And then we have more rumors.
Yep.
There's just more rumors. We've got a ton of rumors. This rumor suggests that the Black Widow trailer will come out on December 3rd.
Yeah,
So-
somebody heard something from somebody and then
that's
told the
some
internet.
nonsense.
Is there a movie that they expect it to be paired up with, or just on like Monday Night Football, or it's a rumor, so it's hard to
the
say.
third is
It's a Tuesday. Yeah.
So it's not necessarily anything, but like look, it's quiet. Might as well steal some press. Look, that movie's coming pretty soon.
Yeah, I'd put it before Star Wars. That's just me, but
I'm sure it will be, but maybe you put it out. But
that's
you
true.
also don't want it to get lost in the news cycle of Star Wars.
Good point.
So you want it to make the rounds, I think, ahead of like when Star Wars will Star Wars is already dominating our lives.
The movie's not even out yet.
Yeah.
But the show is.
Exactly.
That is, the show
Hey, Ryan,
is.
if people are interested in that show, where should
Every
they tune?
Friday at noon PST on the AfterBuzz TV channel.
They're also talking about The Mandalorian, which I don't think anyone said out loud.
Yeah, it's the Mandalorian.
No, we're talking about the Mandalorian after show
yeah.
with Zia, myself, and Ryan, and our pal Steph Sabro. Yeah.
I wanted to. I couldn't do. I couldn't. I have work. I have
sorry,
work. I have
Zach.
to travel.
I'm sorry. I've watched both episodes 3 times already. Just like waiting
so that
for.
took up about 2 hours of your time.
Yeah, that was it. You're right.
Hey, what else is in the news?
Yeah. James Gunn clarified that Adam Warlock is not clarified that he's not going to be in. He said, I never said Adam Warlock was going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because it was basically on Instagram in his stories he was doing sort of an AMA like Ask Me Anything thing, and someone said, who will play Adam Warlock in Guardians 3, and his answers was, I never said Adam Warlock was in the movie. So
The way I picture him saying it is like, I never said Adam Warlock was going to be in the movie. Like
super creepy.
Not creepy. I mean like sly. Like I never said Adam Warlock was going to be in the movie. Wink. Like I think it'd be weird if he wasn't, since that was your big end credit scene. But it's him like at least casting doubt to his audience? Like, who was like locked into the idea?
I mean, I'm still locked into the idea. Can
Yeah,
can we get it?
We got
Can we
that
cast it?
end credit scene in Volume 2 for a reason, but and we've been waiting a long time for Adam Warlock. He would have certainly been an interesting character to be a part of Infinity War or Endgame. So
I was reading McFeely and everybody, Marcus. They were all talking about it, and they were like, he has too much setup. Like you would need an Adam Warlock movie in order to set him up for to be useful in Infinity War.
Very
so they were just like, you know what, because I think they had toyed with him being in it. They had like at least looked at the possibility, but just were like, no, it's way too much to explain.
No, well, yeah, I mean, I understand. He would need to have his own movie to introduce him, and I just think that there wasn't the time or place for that. I don't think it would have fit in, unfortunately, but I would love to see it.
Yeah.
And I hope that we get it.
So I didn't put it in the rundown because I totally messed up when it dropped, because it dropped like right after the show last week, which is what threw me off. But because they announced all those new dates, can we talk about them for like
let's talk about
minute?
dates. Let's do it.
Sure.
All right, I have it in front of me. So
great.
But Marvel, like Disney was like, we call this date for like 5 more dates that we don't know of what the movies are yet. I love it. I love it when people do this because it feels like it's a schoolyard where all those like, no, I called the monkey bars. Like, no, I'm gonna use the monkey bars, and then 2 people end up fighting over it, and neither one really gets a good experience, which is my way of saying that they both don't do well at the box office. So but like also this was Disney being like, you know what? I bet we can do 4 movies a year.
Yeah. I know, that was the interesting thing about that.
And so these are the dates. Yeah, Ryan's got this graphic, which isn't entirely accurate in the doubts. It's hard to read from here.
It doesn't. Oh yeah, because the May 6th date.
So these are the dates. You got February 18th, 2022, May 6th, 2022. This is a bad way of saying it. In 2022. February 18th, May 6th, July 29th, and October 7th. May 6th is already Black Panther. That one has been officially confirmed.
Correct.
They already showed us that one. And then in 2023, February 17th, May 5th, July 28th, November 3rd. It's really funny that 3 of those are like the exact same release date. Just like
just
the Friday
shift it over by a day. Yeah.
So obviously we don't know what these are except for Black Panther. One of them is going to be Captain Marvel 2.
One's going to be
because they've told us. One of them is going to be
Blade,
Ant-Man and the Wasp 2, 3, whatever you want to call it.
Ant-Man 3,
the new Ant-Man and the Wasp movie. And then one of them is going to be...
We should call Ant-Man and the Wasps, if you remember a few weeks ago.
I like that.
That's in my dream version where they have where they bring in all these people.
Yeah.
Anyway, one of them is Captain Marvel 2. One of them is the new Ant-Man and the Wasp movie. One of them is Blade.
Correct.
We don't know where Blade falls. All they've told us is they're doing it. I'm willing to bet Blade is October 7th, 2022.
Say the same thing.
How could it, like, it's your Halloween movie.
I know. I don't want to wait that long, but I will.
Marvel doesn't usually do October releases. It's got to be Blade.
Yeah.
They usually wait till November so they get past the Halloween rush.
If you even look at the next year, they're not doing an October release in 2023.
It's got to be Blade on October 7th. I would... February. Do you think February 18th is Ant-Man? Because they said they're going to start shooting next January of 2021.
I think so. I think we're going to get Ant-Man before we would get any of the other ones you put out there.
It also is a couple movie because it's Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Absolutely.
So you could do a rom-com Ant-Man and the Wasp movie, which is just like who is going after my heart?
I was gonna say, I know that's exactly what you want, Zach. You're like, I would like your rom-com, please.
I need to find a girlfriend by then who's like, yeah, I'm gonna take you on the most romantic date ever to see Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Most romantic
Zach,
of all,
like you're my
both
friend.
Deadpool movies came out around Valentine's Day.
That's what my
That's
husband
true.
and I did.
It's what my wife and I did.
Absolutely.
I took a date to Deadpool that year. Also, they make a joke about it, literally in the movie.
Yes, it's amazing.
So probably Ant-Man and the Wasp, February 18th. Black Panther 2 in May. What's July 29th of that year?
Well, there's also, and this is 100% a rumor that I also read about this whole thing, that they're like, oh, could there be an Avengers 5? in there somewhere.
I think in one of these 2 years there'll be an Avengers movie.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's 2022.
I would
but
bank on May 5th if it's going to be any of these dates.
May 5th,
2023.
2023.
Because then you get Black Panther 2, so you get to have him. Like, that's the other thing is I don't think they're going to want to do another Avengers before Black Panther 2 because we want to go see what T'Challa's doing in his element before he has to do another team-up adventure.
Yeah.
And there's only so many Avengers left.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's been a lot of Avengers in the like an insane amount in the comics. So I wonder if they're going to start pulling from that a little bit and like, oh, this is a new team of Avengers, kind of.
I think the next Avengers movie is Young Avengers.
Yeah.
I would bank on May 5th, 2023, Young Avengers, and it's going to pull half of its characters from the movies and half of its characters from Disney Plus. So you're going to wind up with Spidey with his next team-up movie, Miss Marvel, Kate Bishop, who else am I forgetting? Stature.
Cassie Lang.
Yeah, Cassie Lang, Stature. And like that, you've already got a great core right there.
Yeah.
And you're just straight up, here's your kids Avengers movie. I would bank on that. So July 29th, do you think that's Captain Marvel 2 or is that going to be February 17th?
I
2023.
feel like Captain Marvel 2 is more likely to be 2022. And I feel as though Guardians 3 will be a 2023 because of the amount of
Guardians
time.
3 has to be one of these.
Because the amount of time that James Gunn's going to need, because I don't even know. Ryan, what's the release date for Suicide Squad 2?
Suicide Squad is scheduled for the end of next year.
Okay, so
Yeah,
So
exactly.
he's going to probably be working on that right up until it's released because he'll be in post. So you have to figure he can't really dive into it until 2021.
So Guardians 3 as either July 28th, 2023 or November 3rd.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what I'll bet February 17th is 2023? Deadpool 3.
I actually got to rescind my comment. I was incorrect.
It's
actually
August
scheduled
20
for August 6th, 2021 is Suicide Squad.
Okay.
Yeah, so that makes perfect sense because
Okay.
it
So
comes out in
2023.
August. He's already like back to the script right before then.
Yep.
They shoot it at the end of next year, and that gives them roughly 2 years to edit it.
Yeah.
So I would say July 28th, Guardians 3.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. So wait, which one were you saying was? You said you had something in mind for
Deadpool 3.
for
Deadpool
February.
3
Yeah,
on
yeah.
February
Yeah, yeah.
17th. It's
Yeah.
another love story.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna do that whole thing.
Who's he in love with?
Colossus. But tell me you don't want to see that movie.
I want to see that movie.
Yeah, I wanna see
think
that
that would be
movie.
very.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would move the comic book genre
Maybe he has to
forward.
chase Vanessa across universes.
That would make sense.
Yeah, I would like that. Yeah, Deadpool. I just want to see another Deadpool. The first
know.
and second. The first was amazing. The second was great. It's just, I'm ready for all
So
of that.
so we've got Ant-Man and the Wasp February, then Black Panther, then Captain Marvel,
Yep.
then Blade. That's all 2022. Crazy
And
year.
these are our theories.
These are all guesses,
The
Yeah,
only
except
we're
for
one
Black
just making
Panther.
this
Black
up.
Panther too.
Yeah.
Then we get Deadpool 3 in February, Young Avengers,
Sure.
May 5th. What do we say for July 20th? Guardians 3.
Yep.
And November 3rd, this is the one that we haven't picked yet. The last one, November 3rd, 2023. Tell me what you guys think. I think it's either a Mutants or a Fantastic Four. I think it's one of the two.
I think.
Oh, I think Fantastic Four.
I was thinking that we wouldn't necessarily get that, but if February 17th is Deadpool, I do think I could see Mutants at the end of the year. You know, that Deadpool kind of plants the seed for whatever that is. You know, not necessarily an X-Men movie,
Yeah.
whatever it is. I think that we wouldn't get the FF or the Mutants sooner than that, but that seems like a great spot. You know, because we'll have been waiting 4 years at that point from
Yeah.
the merger.
Is anyone else due a sequel in 2023 that we can think of? Because not
Black
Spidey.
Widow 2. I'm just kidding.
No, but I mean, you'll have to start. You know, that depending on how that does, look, they'll figure out a way to tell more stories with Natasha if the movie does well enough.
I think it's FF.
Yeah.
I was
November
thinking
3rd,
that
2023.
too.
I think it's probably the FF. Like it makes sense. It gives them enough time to between now and then to write it, cast it, like put it together.
And I think that they'd want to like really do a good iteration of that because people are so upset that nobody's had that yet, really.
Yeah, but it's also not something that the general public is clamoring for. So I'm not sure that they're going to rush to do it. The only reason I could see them trying to move on it faster is if they really want to set up Galactus for some reason.
I would love that.
Because Galactus is your next big, it's like your next big like cosmic like threats out there are either Galactus or Kang. If you're pulling from like there are other villains, but those are the big ones. I think our next Avengers team up should be a small story as opposed to because we just did Endgame, but Galactus seems like the big one that you should go for. And we know Kevin Feige wanted to use Galactus and couldn't get the rights back at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense that what they're working on now is building towards Galactus. Maybe at that time, or I think that you're right, though. I think we would get Galactus somewhere, you know, as that we'd be building to it the same way we were building to Thanos. You know, maybe we'll meet like a Herald of Galactus somewhere along the way, you know, not necessarily Silver Surfer, but one of the others. And, you know, because there's that Nova. I know there are multiple characters named Nova, but...
Nova's also... Yeah, I mean, look, there's a billion things that they're developing.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, so those are our guesses. Antman and the Wasp, Black Panther, Captain Marvel, Blade, Deadpool 3, Young Avengers, Guardians 3, and then maybe FF in 2020, closing out this little slate in 2023. To me, that all adds up. We'll have to wait and see. Zia, anything else?
No, I was just looking through the chat to see if anyone was saying anything. But
does the chat think we're idiots or
No, I
geniuses?
think that there's a lot of theories. I think that this will be one where it's good for the archive version to put your thoughts on what those dates are. You know, like what is going to plug into each of those dates. And
I'm gonna tweet this out, like my other thoughts that we just came up with, and then you guys can tell us in there on Twitter what you think we got right and wrong, if we're idiots.
Yeah,
please,
especially if we're idiots, tell us.
We're hopeful idiots.
what's wrong with being a hopeful idiot? Nothing, guys.
Exactly.
That's what gets us through the day. That's actually, I mean, that does it really for the news for this week. That's pretty much everything we got to dive into. Yeah, we actually got through it all, guys. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us. We love to talk about this. We talk about it here. We talk about it on Twitter. We talk about it everywhere we can talk about it. So if you want to keep talking about it, where can the people find you to talk about it?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at ChristianDMZ. And as Ryan mentioned earlier, tomorrow at noon Pacific, you can find Ryan, Zia, myself, and our friend Steph Sabra on the Mandalorian After Show over on AfterBuzz TV. We'll be talking about episode 3. Will it be longer than 30 minutes? No. That's just my prediction.
Let's just talk about that character.
Yeah.
Forever and ever. No spoilers. Forever. Forever.
You're like the only one to not dive into the spoilers, and good for you.
I respect the audience. Yeah. I would totally spoil it. It's so cute. Anyway, I'm Zach Wilson. Find me on Twitter and Instagram at @ThatZachWilson. And also check out my other podcast, Ships in the Night, where we do weird cross-fandom shipping stuff. Lots of times with Marvel characters. And we made some, so we're going to be doing more scripted work on that show, like The Shape of Sewer Water, which is already released.
And last comment from the chat, because this started last week. Xeno Hour, don't forget hashtag cast Zia in Blade.
Yeah.
So thank you for perpetuating that. And then, of course, don't forget that we won't be here next week.
Yeah, I totally.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Thank you, Gamer Girl, because we almost forgot to make the announcement.
No, I had it in the back of my mind. But we just want to wish everybody happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, have a happy Thanksgiving.
Scrooge, Ryan.
We're not going to be here next week. Enjoy your turkey, enjoy your pie, enjoy all that stuff. I know I will. I'm Xia Anderson. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Xia_Len. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you all in 2 weeks. Goodbye.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only, do not necessarily reflect the views of its owners or principals.